Grand Rising, Queens.
Grand
Grand Rising.
rising. Whew. Take a breath.
Come into the Holy of Holies.
Man, it's been a weekend, a week. Woo.
Yeah, it's Detroit is a wonderful place to be in the summer. Yeah, there's so
Yeah.
much happening, it'll wear you out trying to
Yes.
Yes.
all of
We
them.
Yeah.
we had a whole torrential rain yesterday, a monsoon.
Yeah, yeah.
But it was beautiful. The rain, it was beautiful.
And I am sure that the grounds loved it.
Yes.
Mama Earth loved that rain.
Yeah, all
You can
the
see
best.
all the
Huh?
brown grass and stuff, and then
Right.
that rain, and like outside my window here is the grass is green and standing straight up and happy. Yeah, yes, yes, yes. Well, Mama Het and Mama Deitra, what we got going on today?
Well, we have a very, very, very special guest that I found out a couple days ago that Deitra has also been a part of.
Yes, yes. Uh Godis Aldonna
Aldana.
Smith.
Oh
Yeah,
my,
she hosts um fashion shows with her garments. And I started with her when she first started. So it's been years ago when I was a part of her work or her fashion show with her garments. So oh, it was beautiful. Yes.
Did you know Lizette? No, 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 not yeah, Lizette. Did you know Lizette? She began with her. She went to high school with me. I know. I saw one of the shows that I saw was at Kevin Johansson's gallery in Eastern
Oh.
Market. And good morning, Mom Raziya. I mean, Grand Rising. And I really, I see you back there in Yellow Land. I see you in Yellow Land. Mama Evelyn and Queen Adoni and Deitra. Woo! Roll call, Shaboogie, check it.
yeah, right.
Anywho, so yeah, Kevin Kevin Johansson hosted Sister Aldana at the Johansson Charles Gallery, and I fell in love with her gear then. And I think there was this large gap before we ever got together and worked together with her. I don't know. I don't know what to call. She calls, we've called them sacred garments, we've called them fashions, but to me, I've been calling them frequency because that's exactly what they are. Her garments is something very special and magical, like Sister Claudette said, we are magical. And
Yes, yes, yes.
and so they're speechless. And the
Because
colors.
you feel a certain way when you put them on. I
Yeah.
mean, it's like whoa.
Yes, there's a transformation that happens.
Yes.
So it's kind of hard to put it into words. It's an experience that you have to have, either watching them because they're mesmerizing to watch, and then to even have them on. And once you hear about her vision and how they all came to her, you'll get it when you hear all of that.
Mhm.
Um, but it's
Yes.
very, very special. So we were working yesterday, and Zoom is Zoom, and most times when you get on, you have to update it. So we were both going through that yesterday, and you got to remember your password and your username and your
Right.
email,
Yeah.
and then you got to go through security and this. The people that hack, I bet they don't have the wonderful challenges that we do to set up just to be able to get on. So
Yes.
How do
that's
you
a thing
how
in
do you
itself.
spell her name, hon?
Mm, Eldana?
I'm trying to find her on Facebook, so get some pictures.
You're going to find her on Facebook?
I'm here.
It could be Goddess. God is. God is.
Yeah, God is. Goddess.
Yes.
Yeah, I knew her husband, Al. He was such a beautiful energy, and he was always our sound guy at the gallery. So
Yes,
that's
yes,
how we
yes.
met. Yeah. So if you go to Goddess Designs, it's a
Is
little
that,
bit
I'm
easier
sorry, is
to get.
that 2 words, God and is?
No,
No
it's
Oh,
Goddess.
word.
Goddess. Okay. Goddess, Goddess Designs.
Yes. Mhm.
I too know Aldonna.
Wow.
Mhm.
There we go.
Yes. I have attended several, women's gatherings at her loft
Right,
over
right,
there in
right.
the Iron Loft, and very magical time for me.
Yeah.
I mean, one time the women gathered around me and prayed for me, and I really, it was an experience. I said,
Wow.
it's all the time. All the time.
Yeah,
Ah,
she was sharing with me that she wants to do at least a dozen sisters at one time. And so I was like, that sounds like a good Elizabeth Aldonna Goddess.
oh man, that would be awesome.
Cause
Yeah.
she has that many.
Yeah. We have our very special relationship and story. I'm sure she'll tell you.
Yeah, that's great. I'd love to hear it. I was
One,
like,
one,
hey,
she's right behind my shop.
right.
She's right
Right.
behind my shop. You have to go past me to go upstairs to
Mhm.
Aldonna's
So that's special. Because
Saint
you guys are back to back,
sanctuary.
if you will, right? It's like this.
Yeah, yeah. Because when you came downstairs, you passed me to go.
Right.
So
Oh,
you
you gotta
Long-term neighbors.
Yeah, gotta go in there and give some love because
Yeah.
we related like that.
yeah,
Right.
yeah. So when I see her pass by, I'm not at the shop so much now, but when I see her passing by, then we connect and yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's
Adam,
great.
you're here, baby. Unmute yourself and say Grand Rising whenever you are ready. But we'll keep talking. We won't talk about you because we love you. Well, we can talk about her in love, huh? There you
Right.
You unmute
Ow!
yourself, honey.
Always. So turn your mute off.
No. That's right, girl. Put them glasses on.
I know that's right. Hi.
We got action. We got action.
I know. Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
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 Good to see you guys.
Good to see you.
Great.
Yeah.
You too.
This is wonderful.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It is so good to see you. I was so happy to see that you were going to be our guest.
Oh, I was honored.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, the work that you do, I'm usually talking about your work with the young girls,
Mhm.
the young sisters, and you still doing that, are you?
Absolutely. Well, I'm
Yeah.
not at the shelter. No.
Yes.
Is that
Yeah.
about the shelter? No.
Yeah. But you're constantly working with our sisters and, getting us past or in front of some things in life. And and I know you do meditation work and CD, the music. You still doing the music?
Nope, I haven't done it in a while, but I'm getting back to the music. That's a part of the vision, the Goddess vision.
Uh-huh. Well, I'm going to give it over to your host, because we can sit here and talk, so and which we still will, in the midst of this, but it seems like almost everybody knows you already.
I know.
And Evelyn, how are you?
Yes.
I haven't seen you, Deitra, in a long
I
time.
know it's been a minute. It's good to reconnect.
It was like, what, 25 years ago, right?
Woo-wee.
That was
Yeah,
when
it's
she was
been
2 years old. She was a baby.
That's a lifetime.
I know.
right.
Evelyn, we've seen each other.
Yeah, it's been that long because over there on West Lafayette, and that's when I first saw your fashion show. So that's been a while.
Baby, you see, I wore my glitter for you guys.
All right now.
Yes, Lord.
Yeah, I had to wake us up, put some glitter on.
All right.
Wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. Let me get my uniform. You gotta get your uniform. Hold on, wait a minute.
Oh, she got her bendy on. Look at Hetheru.
And now I'm dressed.
Are you dressed?
No.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm giving everybody one.
Thank you.
Okay, I got
Thank you.
mine.
Oh yeah. So, oh man, I'm so excited.
So when are we're going live at 8:30?
No, we're on live, right? Well, we're not live on Facebook, and we're not live on media.
Mm-hmm.
We're just on Zoom right now. We've got to fix a few things, but we
Okay.
are and then we will be posting it though.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's a few people. Now Willie does not know Aldonna, and I don't think Lolly. So y'all want to do a proper intro for them? Because all of us like, hey girl,
Right.
I ain't seen you in a long time.
No. Yeah.
So, which one y'all want to introduce her?
Go ahead.
Okay.
We can start the show.
It's going on right now.
So you do your spiel, and I want to do some movement to get us loosened up, and
Oh yes.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and talk.
Okay.
What?
Deitra, you could go ahead and say a few things. I'm gonna post
Okay. Okay. Guys, we have let me see a couple more people here. Let me make sure I say their names properly. We have Lolly Tolbert, and we have now Willie Griffin, and those are other members that you might not be familiar with. But if you, Lolly, if you can say hello and Grand Rising to our guest.
Hello, Risings. I will show you my face in just a moment. But
Hello. How are you? Good morning. Good. Should I say Grand Rising? Yeah.
Yes.
Grand Rising.
Lolly, while you're getting it together, we jump right in on her because we all know and love her and stuff. But there is like you said, there's a way that we start the show. And I'm going to just start it from right here. Grand Rising, Elizabeth. Thank you for joining us this morning. At 9 a.m., we will close our social media and continue on Zoom only. Join us by getting your Zoom link at elizabethvisionaryconference.org. We will be there until 10 a.m. You can join us now, and we'll see you in the Elizabeth Zoom room. Today, your hosts are Mama Raziya Curtis, Andrea Hetheru, and Deitra Covington. Enjoy.
Woo-wee, it's going down.
It's going down.
So welcome everyone. Thank you all for Well, let me just say thank you to the Creator for giving us one more day and being grateful for that wonderful and amazing rain we had yesterday. The gardens are going to be off the chain. We're gonna have to cut our grass another day early because it's about to blow.
Right.
It's about to. I
Right.
still went out there in it and got rinsed off. I don't know. It was something magical yesterday. So I just want to begin with doing our African Goddess Rising Oracle. I am in love with these cards.
Mama Hetheru,
Yeah.
we didn't allow now Willie to say hello, Grand Rising.
Well, I don't know if
Now Willie.
she missing. I
Oh,
see her.
Oh, okay, she's not there.
I mean, she is, but she's
Well,
not.
we done started. We going on now.
All right, okay.
Yeah,
Well,
now Millie hasn't been in the room. That's why I haven't said anything yet, cause she getting it.
Okay, well, do I just didn't want to over.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, go ahead, Mama.
Okay. So inside the box it says, "You called upon the goddesses, and the goddesses called you. You are being called to bear witness to your own joy, magic, and power. Will you heed the call?" So let's see who comes out of the deck today. I'm in love with these sisters. My cousin gave me these cards for the holidays this year, and I've been looking for cards that look like us, and these are finally they. Ha! I pulled Queen Nandi for intuition. So here's her photo.
Beautiful.
And she has a baby in her hand, and a shield, and some other things. So let's see. What number is she? She's number 35. So that's an 8 today. I love it. That's a good number. All right. So from the Queen Nandi is from the Temple of Queens. She is the goddess of intuition from the Zulu tribe. That's the tribe that does the legs way high in the air. You know, the stomp. I love them. So the element is fire. Queen Nandi was the mother of warrior King Shaka Zulu. His father's royal family first rejected her. They said that she wasn't pregnant and her belly resulted from an Shaka beetle sting. But Nandi knew her son would be great before he was born. I'm getting messed up because y'all know why. This story is so Elizabeth right now. Queen Nandi's guidance. You already know. Take a deep breath and surrender to what you know to be true. Trust your inner wisdom and guidance. Her embodiment. What is your guidance telling you? Put your hands over your third eye, the center of your forehead, and ask, if I knew what the answer is, what would it be? Then follow your first instinct. Ooh, y'all, I'm getting worked up about this. The Creator and your ancestors reconnect you with you through your intuition. Trust your internal GPS. The nudges, signs, and coincidences are divine guidance. Slow down. Go for a walking meditation. Be present with nature and pay attention. Be present. Being present allows you to feel, hear, see, and sense your guidance. And her goddess declaration is, I am knowing.
Beautiful.
She said, touch your third eye and breathe. So the Elizabeth part, and Sheila always, Queen Aduni always talking about us being pregnant with ideas and our hobbies and things that we want to do. So when they said that the father's family rejected her because she wasn't pregnant, man, ooh, can't make this stuff up. I just love how this card came today.
Yeah.
It's
Mhm.
destiny. Ooh, y'all take a breath. Ooh.
Mhm.
Mm.
Mhm.
All right, so our movement today, let's see what I want to work on. Let's work with our hands today and our fingers. So let me yeah, that's good, Deitra. Go ahead, let's wiggle them on out. Let's go ahead and wiggle these fingers. Give them some love, some energy. Because these are part of our creation.
Mm.
All right, so there's one I want to do. We're just going to tap pinky, ring, middle, index, and just keep doing that. Because we do a lot of computing, and these fingers are probably like, they don't work us out enough.
Mhm.
Take them. Just touch, touch, touch. I think one more will be 8. All right, let's shake them out. So really give them a shake. And be gentle, though. Don't hurt yourself. And so now we're going to take them up, bring them up, palms up, and go up. And then we're going to come down, and we're going to come down like a flame. This is the flame. We'll do that a couple more times. Take it up, inhale up. And make sure we watch our posture. Let's bring the flame on down. Again, inhale up. And
Mhm.
exhale down, another flame. And one more, that'll be 4. Okay, now this time we're gonna make it rain. So you're just gonna wiggle your fingers like Deitra had us doing in the beginning. Rain on down.
Mhm.
Up. Make sure that your posture is good. You're inhaling through your nostrils, breathing from the diaphragm. Still raining. And one last. You make sure you exhale out of the mouth. And now we're going to do jazz hands. Jazz hands. So it's like twisting the wrist right to left. Jazz hands. And use your smile to help push that energy on through. Jazz hands. You got to say jazz hands.
Jazz hands.
And then we'll go up again. And we're just going to roll at our wrists. Roll at your wrists.
Mhm.
Take it back up. And again, roll at your wrists.
Mhm.
Just be expressive with your hands.
Mhm.
2 more. Like falling leaves. And now this time we're just going to pull straight down and just pull to the shape of your face and your body. 2 more. Sky. Gently, almost touching, but not quite. Do it like you mean it. Ow. Okay. And go up again and just hold there. But you want your shoulders to sit in their place, and we're just going to stretch side to side, reaching up. Because these are our goals up here and the things that our ideas that we want to do that we may not be doing because there's some stumbling block or probably us. But we're going to pull those ideas down. So now what we're going to do is we're going to reach, twist, and pull down. So it's reach up. You're going to twist the wrist in and pull down. Reach, twist, and pull. Reach, twist, and pull. Reach, twist, and pull. And reach, twist, and pull. And now we're going to put those ideas all up in this space. Let's just make some more circles. We mixing the ethers today. All right. So let's do one here. Just pull that. 3 more. I don't know about you all, but I'm starting to glisten already. All right. So now we're gonna fry some tofu or chicken if some people still eat that. So we're gonna fry it up. Remember that soul clap? We used to do Detroit soul clap. And now we're just gonna do our jazz hands again. And then put your palms facing up and let your hands go down. Stretch. And then fold up, bring the fingers towards you. And let's make our wrist circles. If you hear any popping and snapping, that's the body saying thank you for moving me today. And if you feel any pops and snaps, go ahead and say, uh-oh. Uh-oh. And other way. All right, Arm said thank you. All right, y'all. Thank you for participating. And let's get into this goddess, our poet, our meditation, our specialized synergy frequency clothing. It's so many things. And there are a few of us in the Elizabeths who have been models with Sister Goddess.
Yes.
Several of us. Lolly and Nawili are in for a treat. So I don't know. It's not too much more to say left to say. Mama Raziya, so you also have experience with Goddess as well?
I've had collective experiences, and one that I'm just forever grateful for is one of my friends was having some challenge with her daughters, relating, going through that teenage stage of push against mama type things. And she found Goddess and said, I think this could help. I know this could help. And so some way or other, they made the arrangements. And we actually, those of us who were close to her and the family, saw this transformation of togetherness, daughters participating and working more closely with mama, showing respect where it's due. And just, I was just impressed with that because I was like praying, oh my God, she has so much faith that this is going to make a big difference. And it did.
Yes. Wonderful.
So I'm just very grateful for that resource in our community. We're blessed.
Yes, we are.
Thank you, ladies. It's indeed an honor and a privilege to, be a part of this forum. And I thank you, Sheila. You shared with me many years ago about the Elizabeth vision, and to see it manifest and what it's giving the women is truly, truly awesome to see, because we need each other right now.
Yes, we do.
We need each other. And so I'm going to share with you today. I know a lot of you've experienced what I've done in terms of doing the fashion shows and the photography and stuff, but I never really shared with you what my motivation is. I've been on this journey, I want to say all of my life. And anybody that knows me knows that. that I've never deviated from what I've been doing. As I mentioned, with Deidre, it's been 30 years that she did a show with me. What I want to share with you is I want to share with you my journey. I grew up in Detroit. At the age of, first of all, I grew up in Detroit. I grew up in a family where I had two drug addicted parents. And I didn't know at the time that I was an empath at the time. But as a child, I knew that the energy that surrounded me was one of great depression and sadness. And so as a child, I felt sadness in my home. I would look at TV, look at cartoons. And one day I was looking at cartoons and all of a sudden I'm someplace else. I'm in this other dimension and it's like a crystal and glass temple. And these 5 women are walking toward me, but they're walking toward me as if they're floating. And they're wearing these 3-dimensional garments with the hoods and the head wrap. And their skin appears to be translucent. When they get a few feet in front of me, they just look at me and stare as if they're talking to me with their eyes. And after a few moments, they will shoot a beam of white light from their eyes into mine. And I would feel this overwhelming feeling of love. It was just so beautiful. And I would close my eyes just to immerse myself in the feeling. And when I opened my eyes again, I was back at home. I was back with my parents. The first time it happened, I said to God, why did you bring me here? Meaning back here with my parents. These people are not loving. And I said, where are my powers? And I remember living in another time and space and reality where I was enveloped in love and I was able to move things with my mind and make things appear. So I just became very sad because I wanted to be there with the women, and I called the women with the eyes of love. To me, that was home, and I want to go home with them. I want to be with them. So as a child, I became very depressed. And the visions would come, and they would always be the same. They never deviated. You know, they would just randomly come. I'm looking out the window just over the years. So I became very depressed, and I decided that I didn't want to live, that I would rather die because maybe I can go and be with the women. And so one day I decided that I was going to climb into the expressway and I was going to let the cars hit me. And my sister saw me and she went and got my father. And he pulled me off the fence and said, what are you doing? But I never said anything to him. And he said, what are you doing? Don't be crazy. What are you doing? And he pulled me off the fence. And after that, I realized that if I went down in the freeway, what if the cars hit me and I lived? That would be painful, right? So I rethought that and said, that's not really a good idea. So I decided, since I couldn't physically take myself out, that I would not participate in life. And so I stopped eating. I was barely sleeping and I stopped talking. And so I just went into this like catatonic state, like I don't want to be here. And so my mother, seeing this, took me to a medical doctor who referred me to a psychiatrist. And the psychiatrist, after the second visit, he had a court order and he told my mother she could not remove me from that place. It was Herman Kiefer Hospital. He said, this child is not thriving in your environment, so we have to remove her. And so I became a ward of the state. And so they took me behind these doors with all these children that had problems. And the first thing was that they wanted me to eat because I wasn't eating. So they told me that if I didn't eat, that they would hook IVs up to me and feed me that way. So I decided I would eat something. So I ate, but I still wasn't talking. And so my psychiatrist He was a male. He was Indian. His name was Dr. Kumbar, and he would bring me in his office once a week, and he would try to get me to talk to him, and I wouldn't. So one day he decided that he was going to tell me that I could never see my mother again. He said, I want you to know that you can never see your mother. Do you understand me? And I knew that he was saying that to get a rise out of me, to get some emotion or some conversation out of me. And so he said, okay, you don't want to talk. He got mad. He said, come on, I'm going to take you back to the ward. So he took me back to the ward. And as I was walking, I thought to myself, if he could take me from my mother, maybe he had the power to keep me from my mother. And I just became enraged at the thought. And so by the time I got back to my room, which was like a dormitory style room, it had 6 beds that were metal and that were a really thin mattress. And I just started flipping the beds and just screaming. And they sent for these men from the adult floor, these 2 big men, and they came and they held me down and they shot me with what we call the hypo. And they threw me in a room, a cement room with a little thin mattress with a little window. But I want to share with you, I'm going to digress a little bit. There was a woman whose name was Miss Rogers. Miss Rogers was the only staff in that place that I knew cared, because she exuded an energy, a vibration of love without even speaking. It's like a blanket, I felt this blanket of love whenever she was around. And she spoke very, very soft and very loving. And I just loved to be in Miss Rogers' presence. I was happy when Miss Rogers came because I knew that she knew God. I knew I could feel God's presence whenever I was with her. And I'm telling you this because when they locked me in the room, I got up and I started beating on the door. And Miss Rogers came to the door and she said, baby, she said, I want you to sit down on that mattress because they gave you a shot. And I don't want you to fall out and hit the floor, that cement floor. I need you to calm down and sit down. And I just said, no. And I kept beating the door. They won't let me see my mother. They're not going to let me see my mother. And so she opened the door and she came into the door and she grabbed me with both shoulders and she shook me and looked me in my eyes. She said, you stop this. You stop this. And because of who she was, I knew that she was telling me this to protect me, and I needed to listen. And then she walked over to the mattress and she had a box of Kleenex in her hand. And she said, baby, come here. And she patted the mattress and I sat next to her. And she took my head and she laid my head on her shoulder. And she said something so magnificent to me. She said, cry. And that, I'm gonna tell you, that was a pivotal moment in my healing, because I grew up, my father would holler and scream. And I would get nervous and I would shake and I would cry. And he would say, get that look off your face. You better not cry. You better not cry. So I had never cried in my life until that point. I had never cried. I held everything in. And I think that was a part of the sadness. And so when Miss Rogers said to me, she said, cry, baby. Cry for all the hurt and pain that you ever felt. Cry. She gave me permission to cry. And I cried. And I cried. And it felt so good. And I fell asleep. So I didn't know the moment that she left the room. I didn't know. And so I woke up and I felt the sun coming through the window. And it felt so good on my face, this beam of light just from the window. And I felt free. I felt free. And someone came to the door and they said, you ready to come out now? And for the first time I talked and I smiled and I said, yes, I'm ready to come out. And I played and I laughed and I became a child again. What I realized, Miss Rogers was the goddess. Miss Rogers was the woman that embodied love. She had the eyes of love. She had the softness and the nurturing, because up until then, my life had been harsh. You know, my father would beat my mother. It was, you know, a lot of drama in the household. But she brought me peace. She brought me love, and she brought me nurturing. So as I began to from that space, I was put in a girls' home in Grand Rapids, and I was given back to my parents at 14. But the visions always was there. They never stopped coming. And I would hear a voice that say, it's all for a reason. So my sister, who went to school for fashion designing to Madonna, she set up a sewing room in the basement. And I watched her thread the machine. And at first I started using patterns. I wanted to learn how to sew, but it didn't feel right. So I decided that I would let the fabric tell me what it wanted to be. And I had a desire. If I couldn't be with the women, then maybe I could bring a part of them here into this world. So the garments were a way for me to bring those women in my vision to life, that I could see them, and that maybe if I put the garments on other women, that they would turn into those women in my vision. That they would embody the eyes of love. They would awaken to another dimension of themselves. You know? So that's what I began to do. I began to make the garments. When I first started making the garments, I didn't know about the goddess. My sister, who went to school for fashion, and my other sister went to school for hair, we decided that we was going to start a modeling troupe called Total Chaos. And Total Chaos was spelled TKOS, which meant to totally know oneself, but you pronounce it Total Chaos. And what we decided to do was take women of all shapes, all sizes, because during that time, a woman had to be tall and thin to be considered a model. And so I wanted to prove that beauty had nothing to do with size or shape, but it had to do with the vision that the women held of themselves.
Yes, yes.
Themselves. So I wanted to prove that thought was energy, that what we think is a vibration, and it is a frequency. So if women hold a high vision of themselves, they will send a frequency out that will be elevating, not only to them, but people will feel it around them. Because
wow. Thank you.
When I first took the models out, they were scared and they were intimidated because the other models were judging them with their eyes, and people were snickering and they were laughing. So I said, being the visionary for Total Chaos, I was the visionary and the commentator for Total Chaos. I had to get them into a different state of mind. So what I asked of them, I said, I need you to go inside of yourself, take a bubble bath. If you need a glass of wine, go inside of yourself and bring me the highest vision of yourself. And it can't contain anything that's physical. It has to be all inner. And you can give that part of yourself another name. You can come from another planet. You can have mystical and magical powers. But that is the dimension of you that we will bring to life on stage. So the women were excited. They had their assignments. And just to give you an example, one of the models, she was short and kind of stout. And she was self-conscious about being short and kind of thick. She said that her power was her ability to have compassion for others. So her stage name became Compassion. And then we had one model, her name was Shantara. Shantara's gift was creativity. She wrote poetry. She acted, she was an actress, and she wrote plays. So that was her power, was the power of creativity. And one of them, her name was Shiegra. Shiegra was part lion. She carried the spirit of a lion, and when she walked, she emulated that regalness of a lion. So these women, the rule was, when we got ready for a show, they could only focus on that vision. The outside world didn't exist. As they got dressed, they had to remember that vision. And as they began to think about it, they began to transcend their physical self. And how I would know that was when we would come together and get in a huddle before we go out. I would say to the ladies, I would call them by their stage names, and I would say, Compassion, are you ready? And when I look in their eyes, you could see that they've transcended the physical self.
Mhm.
It was like a glaze, and they said, yes, I'm ready. So that means they tapped into that dimension of themselves. And I can tell you, ladies, when these women stepped out on stage, before we even moved, the audience was screaming. They were screaming because they felt the collective power and energy of women that stood in the power of who they were in that moment.
Mhm.
And when they moved, I told each of them, I want you to ask yourself how you want to move as a model. So they each developed their own style. So they did steps together, and then they would break off individually. And each model had their own signature walk. They had their own signature movement, which mesmerized the audience because at that time, modeling was about walking and turning. You walk to the end of the stage, you turn. But they were doing stuff like this, and we were turning, and some of the garments I would make would transform on stage. So they would have the garments on, and then they would drop the garment, and you'd see wings. You know, they was twirling, head wraps was going up, dropping off. You know what I mean? It was a whirlwind. And that's one of the reasons why we took on the name Total Chaos. But what was interesting was that we became very popular in the fashion industry. As I mentioned, I was the commentator. And what I would say to the audience is I would say, good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
My name is Aldonna, and I am here to take you on a journey to a place that I call Exotica. We are here to bring you bold, daring, avant-garde, Parisian style, exotic, high fashion wear. Ladies and gentlemen, sit back as we take you on a fashion journey. And the audience would just sit up in their seats like, whoa, something finna happen. Models would come out, boom, on stage, and we moving. And the goal was hit them hard, hit them fast, leave them wonder what just happened in here. And women would come up to me, heavy women, all sizes women, and their bottom lips would be shaking. And they would reach for my hand and they would say, I just want to thank you. I just want to thank you. Because they didn't like coming to fashion shows because they never saw a reflection of themselves that they could be empowered by. So it was empowering to all women to see a dimension of themselves on stage, empowered, you know. But what happened with Total Chaos is what I learned, which is interesting. We call ourselves Total Chaos. They became Total Chaos because what we did was we took a positive image and vision and we attached it to the ego, self, because these women were not grounded in spirit.
Yeah.
They lack humility, right? They lack humility. And so they became ego monsters, or we're total chaos, haughty and arrogant. And I said, this is ugly. I don't want to be a part of it. And I left them. They were calling themselves names behind stage, this V and this, that, and we total chaos. I said, whoa, whoa, whoa. And when I tried to correct them, they said, Aldonna, you think that people are supposed to be loving. One girl told me if I don't tell my son to get his MF out the bed, he won't get up. I don't want to be a part of this. I don't sit and sow to birth a vision that desecrates women. And I told them that. I said, to me, we are holy and sacred creations of God. And how dare you talk to each other in that way? I can't be a part of that. And I refused to come to the meetings. And when they called me, they said, we at the meeting. I said, I won't be there. I don't want to be a part of that. So I shut down for a couple of years. And I began to talk to God about why did I feel compelled to birth this vision and provide these clothes, you know, do these clothes and stuff. And God said, because I want you to tell women about the goddess within them. Once women have a vision of the goddess in their mind's eye, they can see her, they can feel her, they can become her. The goddess is the feminine Christ. It said, in the day of revelations, the world as we know it will come to an end. In the womb of the goddess, the seed and the vision for the new world has been implanted. She will awaken, she will emerge, and she will give birth to a new world. She will travel across many nations, and she will teach and give birth to a new creation of sons and of daughters who will know love and who will know God. She is truth and she is the light. She is the second coming of Christ. Then I heard, a goddess emerge from the darkness, come into the light. Spread your arms open, shine your bright light. For you are the keeper. You are the keeper of the light. You are the woman who lives in Christ. Emerge, goddess, emerge. To be a goddess is not a religion. It's a state of being. It's a movement and an awakening of the spirit of Christ in the hearts and minds of women. It is women in touch with their creative and spiritual gifts, empowered with a vision to use those gifts to co-create with God a new world. To be a goddess is to always and in all things remember love.
Yes, 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 yes. Oh my goodness. Thank you.
You are so welcome. So we are here to create an energy vortex around the world. There are women around the world from different nationalities that are coming into the awareness of their God self. They're being called into the spirit, as you ladies have been.
Yes.
To know that you're not your bodies, but you are spirit first and foremost. And we were created for this time and for this season.
Yes.
Goddess, rise out of the darkness, come into the light.
Yes, and I want to thank you so much for bringing to the forefront, your goddess name, because I still have my goddess name, Infinity, because we were together with a group of people, and you did the same thing with us, and you said, come up with your goddess name, and I came up with Infinity. And so it's so wonderful that you brought this out, because it's a good remembrance for me to remember my goddess name, so thank you.
You are so welcome. So I continue to do the shows because if you look at history, the best way to study history is through fashion, through buildings. Every movement, there's a documentation, there's a physical presence. If you look at the Black Panthers, they had a certain dress, that indicated the hippie movement. You can look at history and see where these movements had a vision, a certain look. So I'm here through fashion and through photography to say that the goddess has awakened. And through that, to inspire her to continue her journey of awakening and celebrating her awakening through the fashion, through the photography. What's the saying, of a tree falls in the forest, did it really fall if no one heard it? So how would people know that we exist? And I'm here to say the goddess exists. Women are rising into the spirit. We're seeking a personal relationship with God. And we're saying, who did you create me to be? And what did I come here to do? And that's what you ladies are doing with Elizabeth, is understanding your purpose.
Wow. Oh.
So do you ladies have any questions?
Well,
I wanted, oh, go ahead.
Goddess, I look at you today and I think of all that is happening right now in the world. And I know that I was told years ago that God make sure that we continue to live. There are people that are placed in different cities and different communities, and we don't know exactly who they are, but there are some of us who run smack dab into them, at a time when we needed somebody. So what I'm feeling now is that there is an ability to help us have more of these people among us, that there is an ability through what you're sharing with us to decide to be more of what God purposed you to be. Many of us have refused to move with our purpose. We kind of feel it, we kind of know that we should, but we allow ourselves to be blocked. So I'm just sitting here thinking of how we could have a more success in our communities by allowing ourselves to be who we are.
I think that the most important thing right now is for us to spend time with God in meditation. The more that we feed our spirit, then the more that part of us grows. Where the mind goes, the body follows. So if we focus on, talking with God more, God has to be the most important thing in our life, because God will give us understanding. And so we cannot be a part of this world. If you're plugged into the world, you're going to surely die, because the vibration and energy that this world has created, if you plug into that, then you're going to go down. And the only way we're going to survive is that we plug into the spirit realm, do our meditations, take our spiritual baths, start doing what we all know, because I know y'all know how to stay connected in the spirit. Because I'm gonna tell you something, ladies, it's what's important is not what's said, but what's felt.
Yes.
The energy that emanates from you is what's important, and that energy is determined by your consciousness, by your collective mind. What you're thinking is what determines your the energy that you permeate. Like people say, when they're around me, they feel peaceful, because in my mind, I'm not worried about nothing. I'm in a space where I know that all is well, no matter what's showing up, that it all is well. I don't go by the physical eye. That's one reason why I wear the stone here, is because I see in the spirit. I don't see the physical stuff. I mean, it's there. I have an awareness of it, but I'm seeing beyond that. And we have to see beyond that. Because when people become afraid, see, this is the thing, is that when you talk from your intellect, then you feed other people's intellect. A lot of things, spiritually, you're talking from stuff that's stored in your memory, right? But when you talk from the spirit, then you touch the spirit of others. When you talk from your heart, you touch their heart, right? So we need to be spirit beings walking the earth. And when we speak, when the goddess speaks, it touches the spirit. Okay. And you don't have to say a lot, because they feel it. And that is a spiritual power. If you look at somebody and in the spirit, you say, you're going to be okay. And they look at you and they feel it. They say, I believe. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
See the difference?
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's where we got to be. When the goddess walks in the room, the energy shifts, because she brings in peace without even speaking. She just sits there and people go, wow, something going on with her over here, because something just happened when she walked in the room. And people will say to you, There's a warmth I feel from you. There's a peace I feel from you. And if you're not getting that, then we need to stay connected. You need to reconnect with the spirit. You're not a part of this world. We didn't come to be a part of this world. And a lot of you know it, you've never felt a part of this world because we come from the future. We come from the future to birth the future in this dimension. Right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Now, Willie, you have want to jump in on the conversation?
Yes. Great day to everyone. Thank you, Sister Aldonna, for your sharing. Great day to everyone. So I want to, from one of my favorite books, read something that's so in alignment with what you're speaking. We know it's only one mind anyway. So this says, becoming a beacon of light, meditating outward. All humans are beings of energy vibrating at unique and beautiful frequencies. As such, each of us possesses the ability to affect the world in a positive way simply by using focused meditation to connect with our own environments, our fellow humans, and the earth. Since it is intention that creates the connection, we all have the potential to act as beacons of light, centers of positive healing energy that radiate outward, dispelling negativity and spreading joy and well-being. This entails more than choosing to maintain a positive attitude. Becoming a beacon of light means embodying qualities of energy that can open up the potential of others, along with being a center of positive change by meditating outward. This process begins with creating an environment that is supportive and energizing, a sanctuary where those who enter your space can find renewal. That is the seed. To make it blossom, sit in a quiet place and begin breathing deeply, focusing on achieving a clear and calm state of mind. Center yourself and visualize a blanket of warm, positive energy flowing over your hands. When you can perceive it shifting and having an effect on the air around you, direct the energy into your body. Release it and let it spiral outward, first into your home, then into the yard or surrounding residences, then over your entire neighborhood and through your city, state, country, and beyond. Finally, let the gentle vortex of perfect light and perfect love you have created settle over the entire world. As you send out your loving thoughts, realize that you are the center and source of the beacon. When you have spread your gift of positive energy and love as far as it will travel, return your focus to the place from which it originated and take a moment to observe your own feelings. As you take a deep breath, reflect upon the fact that in brightening your own soul, you have played a positive, beneficial role in the spiritual evolution of all people. And in blessing yourself, your home, you have blessed the earth. So just wanted to share that. Thank you.
That is beautiful. Thank you so much, sister, for sharing that. I want to talk about something that's been on my mind. And I know that we as goddesses, we talk about being healers. Working in the shelter for 21 years, my goal was to save young women, save them, right? And heal them. But really the healing was in me. Because what I realized is they didn't need healing because they were on their journey, they were on their path, and they were perfect and divine no matter how they were showing up. And my job was just to hold the immaculate concept for who they truly were in my mind. If we look at the world and we see the world as being sick, then what we are doing is we're creating more sickness because thoughts create. And so we have to see people as well. We have to see people as healed, not as sick. So I cannot say I'm a healer. I don't know. I would say I am a transformer. I assist people in transformation. I am a facilitator. of transformation here on this planet. Because people are not sick. Because we know that we're spirit beings and we come here and there's different levels of awareness that we go through. You know, this is Earth School for spirit beings. So they are where they need to be. And so we're just there to remind them of who they are by just letting them see love through our eyes, letting them see that I see you. I see you, the truth of who you are. And I hold you in that space and I speak to you from that place of knowing.
Wow, that lessens the burden, you know, of what we, it frees us a little bit, you know, just to be,
Just to be, that's it, to be the light. And that spirit gives you things to say to someone, you say it. If it's not, you hold your tongue, it's not for you.
Right.
You know, what I've come to know is that I am a servant of the Creator. My life is not my own. You know, it's not my own. You know, people say you have a dream. I don't have a dream. The dream has me. The vision has me. I told God one day, I said, I'm trying to birth my vision. God said, you think this your vision? It's not your vision. And he said, and check this out. He said, you can't birth the vision. The vision is birthing you.
Right. Yes.
Your vision is birthing you. So as ladies, as you birth the vision that God has given you, it's going to reveal to you who you are. The vision is birthing you.
Yes. I can feel that. I can feel that.
That's good talk, Aldonna. The vision is birthing you. We were talking about, you know, we did Hug Detroit this Sunday, and there was you know, when all the people, the vendors, I want this spot and all that kind of stuff. And you know, it's Sky's baby, you know, it was birthed through her. And I consider myself a auntie and and all of that, you know. But I was just telling her how sometimes you just get overwhelmed with things, and you tell God, I'm through with this, you know. And then God will give you a vision while you sleep, and then you're like, okay. And it's like, wait, that's not fair. I quit this last night, you know.
Right.
But the things that are coming through us, to see where we're weak or we are vulnerable in those areas, and where we are strong. And it's all part of the birthing. I mean, when the baby's inside, the visions, the dreams, and it's coming forth, or it's already out there, and then you must nurture and raise that. We as mothers who have carried babies, you see how you change. As my son got older, I had to make different decisions and choices based on where he is, and to be a better mom, or you see where you messed up, or you shouldn't have been doing a certain thing, and you was doing it right in front of him, or stuff, or whatever that impact is. It is you evolving to be that better mom, that better instructor, that better teacher, that better server, as you go along. Otherwise, you know, why be here? I like when you said that the students on Earth. How did you say that? That we are spirit
Being
on Earth. Yeah, the school.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you was sharing about that is so powerful. And then when we just see everything as love, everything as complete, because that's how God sees us. You know, we are already that. We're just going through the process. It's not for God. God knows all, has created that. It's for us to gently come into the fullness of that.
Yes.
Yeah. Some are born with it, but some of us, most have to go through that process. And even as those who come to earth already, I don't, how am I going to say that? Already enlightened, shall I say. They still have to go through the learning process of dealing with people and to see how enlightened you are, or where are those areas where you have a little struggle there, or God is not being present in those situations. Then we get to, because we have choice, we get to embrace the goddess in us. Yeah.
And you know, to add to that, you know, I think that we have to remember is that when we were in the spirit realm before you came into this body, that we all had a conversation with God. And in that conversation, everything was decided.
Yeah.
You know, where we would live, the parents that we would have, the stories that we would have to evolve through.
Yeah.
Everything was given in the beginning. Before we existed in the physical, everything was given. There's nothing to want. And so in this physical world, people are living out of a void. You know, I don't have money, I don't have this. And if you think that, then you won't, because we're creators and we create through our thoughts and through our vision. Then we will create the very thing that we feel. So we don't want to live out of a void. We live in the kingdom. Everything is there. Everything that we need to do our business, and to the degree that we believe it and we feel worthy of it, is what will cause it to manifest. Some people, they want things, but they don't feel worthy, and they don't know that they don't feel worthy of it. And so that cancels out that manifestation. As the goddess, everything, you have everything. You live in the kingdom. And everything you want, you just sit down and visualize and see yourself having it. It's here. I just got to hold the immaculate concept. I got to hold the immaculate vision in my mind.
Danielle, you want to join in?
I do. Grand rising. I just want to say it's a blessing to actually be here. Usually I'm working, and I am working right now. It just so happens that my client's power went out and happens to be at a hotel 5 minutes away from my house. So I'm working in a different capacity, and I'm glad that I'm here, because usually I'm in a different space. But everything is just good to hear a reminder. This is a reminder, a refresher of the whole purpose as to why we're here. And like I said, it's an honor to be here, because I'm one of those women that finally stepped into her goddessness. Because I'll be honest, watching Goddess over the years before I even got to know the images of the goddesses of the women who I knew, you know, that I've known for years, but they were just in different progress of their journeys. You know, it was a little intimidating to get ready for my own. Well, it took years for me to get my goddess portrait done by Goddess, but I've seen the images of the goddesses that she taken over the years. And it's like, it's amazing how, you know, any woman could be a goddess. Any woman. I mean, when every woman is a goddess, it's just when she realizes that she's the goddess. And I don't know, it's just an honor to hear those words again. It's almost like I understand why we used to go to church. It's because there's a certain word that you get to hear over and over again to empower your life, so that you can continue empowering the lives of others. And I'm so glad that you're here. I'm so glad to see you, because it's been months since I've seen you.
Right.
It's just a beautiful thing to just, you know, your words are something to hear. Not only your words, but your image, your power. Because I have your Goddess book of wisdom at home. It's definitely something that I use in my meditation. I have my own image that I know I need to get blown up and everything like that, and framed and everything. But just your message is definitely something that needs to be heard, and heard more often, because it's a good reminder. And as I see these different screen, different view, not the views, faces pop up on my screen. Like Raziya, right now, you're absolutely gorgeous. And I miss you. It's been a while since I've seen you. You look absolutely beautiful. It's almost, I'm seeing the reflections of myself. I'm seeing my reflection in you. I've seen my reflection in Sheila. I see my reflection in Deitra and Raziya. And it's absolutely beautiful. And to Mama Queen Aduni, I want to say you were more than just an auntie when it came to Hug Detroit. You was the midwife. You was a midwife. And I feel like you was a midwife, and I feel like me and at Peace and B. Anthony, we were the doulas. And we all worked together to bring forth. And I've never viewed Hug Detroit like that until just now. Like it was Sky's baby, but Mama Sheila was the midwife that brought it forth, and we all worked to make sure that vision like really came forth. And that's the first time I ever worked with a spiritual conscious / business group that actually brought forth a concept like that to birth. And it's like it's all coming together, it's all coming back together now. And I'm like, oh wow, I can't wait to actually be a part of that again. Because like I said, it's 10 years now that Hug Detroit has been going on, Sheila.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm like, when I go back and look at the pictures at the first ones, it still feels like it was like yesterday. Like I cannot believe it's been 10 years since that was actually. And what happens to midwives and doulas is once we bring forth the child, it's almost like we go on to the next one because the mama got this. She got this now. She's doing this. It's on to the next event. So I just wanted to bring it to your attention, Sheila, that you're a midwife. You're a midwife. You help women. You help people literally birth their vision and birth their and go through all the pain and the labor pains and everything to get there. But you get us to where we're at, and then you move on to the next. Then you move on to the next project that needs birthing.
Ashe, thank you. Thank you. I received
You're
it.
welcome. I just wanted to share that. That's it.
Mama Raziya?
I'm just sitting here pondering as the Queen talks. I realized that it was about 15, 20 years ago, or maybe more, there was a minister that came on a TV, radio, was Reverend Ike. And he was a flamboyant, everybody get the money, have as much money as you want, and encourage people to be prosperous and to think prosperity. You probably remember hearing something about Reverend Ike. But one of the sayings that stuck with me was he said, I know how to help the poor. I am helping the poor by not becoming one, not becoming poor. And listening to you today, it resonates fresh with me, is that's really it. So when you talk about the quote healing area, the first principle is to be healthy yourself and to be on point. And that spreads. I realized that in my walk, people looked at me and they look at those of us and say, well, and I remember when I would go to see a practitioner, I would look at the practitioner that looks healthy that I'm going to follow. I didn't go to someone who was limping and not well, because I said, I know that he or she is going to use his own suggestions, his own medicine. And if he's using his own medicine, then I need to look at that so that keeping yourself, if you want to help the poor, if you want to help the sick, make sure that you are well. And I think your suggestion that energy that you exude can do a lot more than the words or even the deeds. And it's very powerful. Imagining, bringing into being through our sight, through our thoughts, through our words.
Yes.
Much more power than we give it.
Yes. Who is
Thank
that?
you.
You're so welcome. Is it Einstein that said, knowledge, no, imagination is more powerful than knowledge.
Yeah.
Imagination. So we have to imagine the nation of the goddess. We have to imagine a new world where there's love, where there's community.
Yeah.
See it and believe it.
Mm-hmm.
Because people are going to lose hope. And they have to see through our eyes that everything is going according to plan, no matter how ugly it looks. It's like a sore. A sore has to get really nasty before it heals. So things are going to get nasty on this planet, but we're going to be okay because we know what's beyond this is greater than what this world has ever seen. You know, God has taken this world to a whole nother level, and that's what's happening. So we have to hold, we're here to hold the Immaculate Concept. Someone gave me a book, and I think it was by Claire Prophet, this lady named Claire Prophet. And she talked about how in the spirit realm, the angels put out a call for a spirit to go down to earth and be the mother of Jesus. And so the women had to go through it, the spirits had to go through an initiation. And the initiation was, they gave that person a positive thought. They said, hold this thought. And then they beamed negative energy at her. And the spirit that could hold the Immaculate Concept, the thought, was the one that became the mother of Christ. She was able to hold the immaculate thought of who he was. So she was able to birth him. Yes. And so that's what we're going to do in the world, is we're going to hold the immaculate thought, no matter what happens, is that we're coming through this and we're going to be better.
If I can throw this in, I never put myself down here. I'd like to just throw in that when we're thinking about the Elizabeth and what you were just saying right now, because when Mary went to Elizabeth, her baby leaped. And we are around so many sisters and brothers, because, you know, they're Elizabeth, only the female energy of it. Some are even pregnant with a vision, but when you come, they have so much stuff around, like how they took your pure vision and the girls turned it into something ugly. That baby would not leap. You know, we just experienced a baby being born, and he passed. He was only 20 weeks old. He would have been my great nephew. But in what we were saying about Elizabeth, when I know when a person is an Elizabeth, that because of what we immediately began to talk about, what comes out of her mouth or his mouth. But like you said, someone was saying that they don't even know that they're pregnant. They're just walking around. They don't even recognize who they are or the potential of who they are. And I'm not even saying who they could be, but who they are, they don't even know.
Yeah.
And people are pregnant with visions and dreams, and it has been so suppressed. And that's why I call this a safe space. Where you can share your dreams, your vision, and what God has put in, but you have been attacked in so many ways that you have been weakened, and you need to be around people who are Elizabeth to be free, to bring that forth.
Yeah, you know, we have what we call an emotional body. We have a mental body, we have a spiritual body, we have an emotional body. When we experience things in life, things happen to us in life. If we don't process that experience, and I'll share with you what the process is. If we don't process it, then it sits in our emotional body. And if over the years we go through things, tragedies and stuff, and we don't process those emotions, then our emotional body becomes full.
Yeah.
And so it's like being buried, you know. And so one of the things that I learned in working with the girls in the shelter, because what was happening is that we were teaching them life skills. We were giving them money to put a down payment on their security deposit. We were furnishing their homes and everything. But the girls were coming back. Some of them were coming back because they suffered from depression, or the emotional bodies were full. They were angry, and they went off on somebody on their job or fought somebody on their job. And so they ended back up in the shelter because we didn't address the emotional body. We took care of them physically, but we didn't deal with the emotion and the spiritual part of themselves, make them aware of the spiritual part. The girls that really went on and became really successful were the girls that not necessarily went to church, but had a relationship with God. They prayed, they had rituals, they prayed, and they had that connection with God. Those are the girls that left the shelter, went on and thrived. What I would tell the girls is that life is like a meal. When you sit down and you eat a meal, the body will say, okay, we can use this, we can use that to strengthen the body. There's a certain aspect of that meal that the body has to eliminate. And if the body doesn't eliminate the negative, the waste, then you will become toxic.
Yeah.
And you will die. And so what's happening in our communities is that people are not sitting with the pain, because what happens is it's coming back up until you resolve it, until you make peace with whatever that is that happened. And the question that you ask the creator, because we know that everything was created in the spirit first, that we were co-creators with God, which meant that we was in on our story. So the question begins is, what has this situation been created to teach me? No matter how, to show me, to teach me. And so from that situation, you gain wisdom. And when you gain wisdom, you evolve. You evolve through that situation, and you let go of the pain of it. Wisdom is the most important thing on this planet. And how you know that, ask any woman over 50 if she would go back to being 25. In 25, she was young, she was more beautiful and radiant than ever. Most women will say the only way I would go back if I could know what I know. That's the only way. Now, and I would say the same thing too. Well, I'm 65 years old, so why would a woman say that I would rather have wisdom than have beauty? Because on a deeper level, we know that's why we're here. We know that wisdom is greater than beauty. And so we have to take that journey within. I developed what we call the inner circle, where I would put questions on cards and the girls would meditate on them. And I told them, the voice of wisdom would speak to them and give them the answer. So I told them to seek the wisdom within. And that's what we have to do. We have to seek the wisdom within and process our journey, so we're not carrying the weight of it, the toxicity of it. We have to evolve through what we've been through.
Ashe. Deitra, you want to join us?
Yes. Oh my goodness, you brought up the cards. I remember sitting in our circles talking about those cards, and you're right. They went deep. We came from a deep place and talked about what was on our card. I really enjoyed that. Let's see. I want to share. Oh goodness, so many things have come across my mind in the last little bit. But anyway, I want to share with you, Godis, is that you are part of a spiritual foundation for me. As I go through different walks in life, like I think I was at Detroit Unity Temple, and I took a step to level up there in a way, whatever, lead a different way. they had a program, and they said invite people who are, spiritually have helped you along the way. And I invited you, and you came, and it was so beautiful. And I just want to say, just thank you for being on this road with me. My sister in spirituality. Since I met you, I have always referred back to many times we've shared, even with the garments, the fashion shows and things, but we actually sat and talked with other people in a group. And I thank you so much, because I have really grown because of that. Also, I want to make a point that, we talked about the future of women, but I want to say, right now, at this present moment, I feel so connected to, I'm trying to come up with the right words, but to the goddess energy. I feel it. I don't think anything could be better right now. You know what I mean? Right now is what's the future. I'm not going to even worry about it. But right now is wonderful and perfect for me. And I wanted to share, I've been reading a book called Awakened Imagination. It kind of goes with what we're talking about, by Neville Goddard. And one little part that I thought was really significant is this. In every event is the creative sound that is its life and being. All that a man believes and consents to as true reveals itself in his inner speech. It is the word, his life. Try to notice what you are saying to yourself at this moment, to what thoughts and feelings you are consenting. They will be perfectly woven into your tapestry of life. To change your life, you must change your inner talking. For life, said Hermes, is the union of word and mind. When imagination matches your inner speech to fulfill desire, there will then be a straight path in yourself from within out. And the without will instantly reflect what is within for you. And you will know reality is only actualized inner talking. And I just thought that was beautiful and significant to what we're sharing today. So thank you, everybody.
Wonderful. Aldonna, if you could, we have a lot of some other sisters that have joined us, and I did not hear the beginning of the women. You had shared that the second coming and what are our purposes as a whole of the females, what it is. You remember when you shared about that? Because, and I'm saying this because, my sister Pam, right? She's Star now.
She's Star. Hi, Star. I run into Pam, a lot. We hug, and yes, it's beautiful.
Yes, and it's in line with what you were sharing about what the timing of all of us and what we're doing, and what our purpose here as far as the female energy, and lining that up with Mary, and just you shared a little about that while everybody's on here, but I would love for you to reshare that part about that you said in the beginning. You know what I'm talking about?
About the woman, the goddess being,
yes, ma'am.
Second coming of Christ.
Yes.
What I was sharing with him, Pam, was that the spirit of Christ is rising up in women. There are women who've been seated on this planet during this time to birth the new world. And so they'll be the teachers. So, it says in the Bible, it talks about Christ said he'll come like a thief in the night. And so that means you can't see it. So it is an energy that is that's rising up in women. And so the feminine face of God is what is going to manifest in the goddess. It's God expressing herself, himself through women. But in order for that to manifest itself, women have to be committed to being in spirit. Meditation, I think that's the most important thing. And sometimes we get together as women, we talk, we want to talk. But sometimes we need to get together and just be in the silence. You know,
Yeah.
what it say, be still and know that I am God. Just create a sacred space where we come together, we set our altar up, and we just sit there and we spend time in the spirit. Because we need to practice that more, because we have to build our that part of ourself, awaken that part of ourself, and diminish the humanness and grow the spiritual aspect of ourselves, manifest that into the physical. So that's where we're going. I wanted to say what the spirit had told me, that in the past, men used to go off to war. And this is the time when the goddess existed on the planet. And there were temples where these women, where the goddesses lived. They were your so-called herbalists, you know, and they were the women that, I want to say, I'm just going to use the word healers for lack of a better word right now. So when the men would go off to war, they would become savage-like because they were murderers. They would have to kill people, right? And so they did not want to take this energy back home to their families. They had to be a place to transcend or transmute that energy. So the goddess was the bridge between heaven and earth. She was that bridge. And so when the men fought in the wars, they would put the spoils of the war, which were the beautiful fabrics, the fragrances, the herbs, at the feet of the goddess. And she would in turn bring him back into his humanity, back into a more elevated state, so that he could go home and have some humanity and not carry that energy with him. And that's what we're doing in this lifetime. You know.
Yeah, when I met Queen Afua, and I brought her over to the shop, you know, down there.
Yeah.
And when as I'm driving her to see the space and stuff, and I was just telling her that, one, we were by the water, and then the other thing was that the spirit had wanted a space where healing could take place, because of the work that needed to be done, like what you're saying, the women did, that we needed to get healed first. Otherwise, we were just going to be supporting with our attitude and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
You just need to get up and do what you're supposed to be doing. No, we needed to be able to communicate, and we needed to be able to love. We needed to be able to see the vision of wholeness. We needed to be all that. But we, like we were talking about, the Mama Raziya was saying, you call yourself a healer, but you're sick all the time. You know, no, we got to deal with our heart, our body, the wholeness of who we are, what people see and what people don't see, what people feel from us. Yeah, there's some people I have to put a blockage up to shield, because they are so caught up in the life, and they've not been able to release. You see a little bit of it, but ever so often it'll come and it's so negative that I have to say, stop. I don't want to, so don't come to me with that, you know. But when you can reframe that, I'll be glad to talk to you about it. But if you're going to come all negative and I got to fight that first, look, you know, I just get tired. I don't want to deal with that. But anyway, I just wanted to say that all the things that women are getting, it's coming to forewarn us and prepare us, and it's like a horn saying, get it together, you know. Get healed, meditate, talk to me, see me, come together as like what you're saying in this case. So yeah, I think my Nawili had her hand up. Did you still want to share? Okay, she's off camera right now. Yes. Did you want to share, Nawili?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Okay, thank
Anyone else want to share? Have some questions? So I'm going to share with you what we were talking. Okay. Oh yeah. Go ahead, Mama.
I was just gonna ask if Eldana would close us out with a meditation after you finish.
Yes, absolutely. Well, I'm saying yes to her. Telling you the answer. I do want you all, because we talked so much about her garments and stuff. I do want you all to see what we're talking about, and then also to I think what we were sharing, we definitely as Elizabeth should come together and do the garments and the photos and do a show, together. Nama nama na, nama na, nama na. And then yes,
Oh, this is Omani.
yes, dear.
You about to show a video?
No, it's on here now. These are her garments that she makes. But if you want did you want to say something else?
Oh my God, I'm so glad I woke up this morning. I mean, in time, I'm wake up in the morning. I'm doing that part, but to wake up and say, get on the call right now. I'm so happy to meet you. I've seen your pictures all over with all the goddesses throughout the city of Detroit. I've seen you. I'm like, where is she? I've seen you on Facebook. I'm so glad you're here because, oh my God, I got a group of women. We need a photo shoot. We need some clothes. It's like, oh my God, it must be time. Are you still doing all that work, Goddess?
I've been focusing on the photographs and doing videos since the COVID, because I hadn't been doing shows. People have been calling me, so we kind of took it to the streets, right, Hetheru? We kind of took it, and that's been fun. So yeah.
Hey guys, quick question. Have you ever thought about doing an online online fashion show?
Yes.
Okay, you and I are here.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
Okay.
But I want to share about the garments. If you look at the garments, they all have wings in them. There are wings in the garment. And that's kind of like my trademark, is to have the wings. And a lot of them, you'll see it. And when I started taking the pictures, I was working at the shelter, and I started doing my friends, and then I showed them to the girls in the shelter, and they said that they wanted pictures like that done, and the girls called them peace pictures. Now those are just that's a garment, for a show. So I have the garments, what I use for fashion shows, and I also do the peace pictures, where you'll see just the women in prayer and meditation. So I tell the girls when they were in the shelter, when I would do their pictures, when they hang them up in their homes, is what they tell people is that this is my spiritual self. Because when you open up a magazine, you see every dimension of yourself. You see many different dimensions of yourself. There you see yourself as a mother, a businesswoman, a sex symbol, but the most important dimension of yourself you don't see an outpicturing of, and that is the spiritual self, which is the foundation from which your life is built. So we're honoring through the fashion, through the photography, we're celebrating and honoring our spiritual self and our connection to the Creator.
Isn't that beautiful?
Oh my God, look at that.
Hetheru.
Look at that. Look at that. Look at that.
Oh my, that's hip. Oh my, you are so beautiful. Inside and out, sweetie. You're just beautiful. Oh my.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
I got my photo shoot scheduled for the 10th,
Hey, Peace.
11th. Hey.
Hey, now, really, this would be great for your birthday.
Oh, yeah,
Absolutely.
now, Wheelie.
Yep, I'm working on
I love my goddess shoot with goddess last year. It was such an experience, and that's exactly what it is. It's an experience. It's a process. It's a process and an experience that every woman should have. I just have to say
Now,
that.
see, I want to say something about this picture right here. This picture was taken at the casino and at Belle in front of the windows. And I love this space because you see a cross behind her.
Mhm.
And to me, it symbolizes that we as women have to come off the cross. We have to come off the cross. We've been putting nails in. We've been nailing ourselves to the cross through our self-judgment and persecution of ourselves. And
Ooh, I got chills.
it's time for us to come off the cross of self-persecution, condemnation, and judgment of ourselves. And to
Amen.
spread our wings and become a light in the world.
Yes.
Star, yeah, Star, you have to share what the Spirit told you about where you were stuck about Jesus being on the cross. Unmute yourself.
When I was stuck.
Yeah, you remember when you were you said Jesus being on the cross and stuff, and God told you to take him off.
I was on the cross. I saw myself up there. And I thought I was in trouble. Well, apparently I was, because what was going on in my mind. But now I understand is exactly as what Goddess is saying, that you know, when we talk about the cross, we're persecuting ourselves, and that's not necessary. We do need to stop that.
I had a sister tell me, she said, she said, you need to come off the cross because we need the wood.
Come on, that's a t-shirt.
I like that.
God.
It's a t-shirt. I like that saying.
Yes.
Wow.
That the crucifixion and the resurrection is one of the conversations that people believe in the Bible. That's not the truth.
True.
Oh my God. So I just need information.
That's beautiful.
I would love information about how to make a connection with you and set up a time with you. I know you're probably really booked, but I'm gonna put the request out there anyway.
Okay. Aldonna, can you put your information in the chat?
Oh, okay, let me see. How do I do that? Let's see. Is there?
Okay, in the bottom right.
I'm looking at the bottom. Okay, I see where it says chat.
Yeah, just type down there at the bottom, and then it'll go to everybody. It'll show up for everybody. You are the light.
That's my friend Lizette, who I saw modeling with Mom. I was like, wait a minute, we went to high school together.
Yeah, Deitra, this was the show that you were in, I think.
Yeah. Who? Deitra? Oh,
yeah.
Yeah. I was asking her if she knew Lizette. I was like, that's my friend.
I've modeled in your show before, but I've never taken a shoot. I don't know why it's taking me so long to get my shoot done. I don't know, but I'm excited about it. I've been prepping and preparing, meditating, really getting focused and clear.
It's time. It's time, Mom. It's time.
I give light and love to this beautiful tree.
That's full moon right there. That's full.
I have to say, it's been a lot of goddesses in the community that Goddess has shot. That's Sanaa right there in the middle. She's just a belly dancer. I'm like, it's so many Jennifer. I can name the names. It's like Maymuna. It's like, oh my God, I've been watching these pictures, seeing these photographs for years.
Yeah.
And it's like, I want to do that. So and I'm like a piece. I don't know what took me so long to do mine. I don't. And I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this again, God. We want. Some of us want these garments. I'm just gonna let you know. I don't know how we can make that happen. I don't know if there's a sewing class that we can do, but
Yeah, and
some of us.
I need a seamstress. I need some help, really.
We can mastermind that. We can manifest, mastermind
Yeah.
and manifest that. Okay.
Oh, I know somebody who can do it too. Yeah.
Okay.
Ah, Carmelita.
Mhm.
Baby.
Mhm. Yeah, I want to share with you about the power of vision.
Yeah.
When I was at the shelter, I took a picture of a 15-year-old girl, a spiritual picture of her in meditation. And I would print these pictures out. They would have the large poster size pictures and they would put them in their room. And when they would get upset, they would just sit and look at the picture and it would bring them back to that space of peace.
Yes.
One of the girls in the shelter, she got really sick and they called the ambulance to come get her. And I was off work. And the next day when I came to work, she called on the phone and told me, you know, I'm in the hospital. And she said, guess what I'm doing? She said, I'm looking at my spiritual picture. She had carried this big picture in the ambulance of herself, her spiritual self, to emergency, to the hospital. And I asked her, why did she do that? She said, I thought in some way it would help me to heal.
Mm-hmm. Vision.
Yeah. That looking at my spiritual self would help me to heal.
Goddess, would you read this to us and then take us into meditation?
Okay. The goddess lives. In each and every woman, a goddess lives. The goddess is the original thought, the immaculate concept. It is the true vision of who God created you to be. As you embrace and give birth to the divine beauty, peace, love, and wisdom, and the dreams and visions that God has implanted within you, the heavens will begin to reign heavenly upon the earth, and the world as we know it will be transformed. Rise, goddess, rise. Become the highest vision and the greatest version of yourself. Rise. Okay, ladies, take a deep breath. Breathe in, and then slowly breathe out. As you breathe in peace. And as you breathe out, you exhale any negative energy that you may feel in your body in this moment. Okay, once again, breathe in and then slowly through the mouth, breathe out. Now I want you to create in your mind the most beautiful place that you can imagine. It could be by water, it could be on the top of a mountain, but I want you to create this beautiful sanctuary, this beautiful place in your mind. In this place, you can ask angels to come. You can ask God to come. In this place, there is peace. In this place, you feel love. I want you to bathe in that peace. Become one with that spirit of love and breathe. Breathe it in and slowly breathe it out. Breathe in and slowly breathe it out. And say to yourself softly, I am one with the spirit of peace. In this moment, I am one with the spirit of love. I am one with the spirit of peace. I am one with the spirit of love. Divine peace and love flows through me. I embody ancient wisdom. I am a vessel for which the Spirit of God flows through, speaks through, loves through. I am a goddess. I am a daughter of God. And wherever I am, wherever I be, all is well. Amen. All is well.
And all is well.
All is well.
All
And
is
so be it.
And so be it, and
And
so
so
it
it is.
Mhm.
And Ashe today.
Dang. Today.
I don't see the
Thank
stuff.
you, God.
Thank you, ladies. Thank
Oh, thank you.
I'm hyped up this morning. Goddess, could you put your information in the chat, please?
Yes, I did.
It went to somebody else.
Oh, what
Make
happened?
sure it says to everyone.
Send to everyone.
Oh, how do I? It's something I have to push.
Go to the. Somebody tell us. Go to the very bottom. And you'll
I see it.
Can you see send to everyone, or does it say send to a person?
Oh, I see what it says. Oh, Neville Griffin. Okay, I have to push that blue.
Say
And
it'll say to everyone.
okay, I don't see. I guess
There's a little arrow that points down. You got to hit the drop down box.
Oh, okay. I'm not seeing the drop down.
It's next to
You'll
the word.
see
It's
send
next to the person's
everyone.
name.
Okay, I tell you what.
I can type it.
Yeah, I just finished.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, you know, goddess. And you can put my phone number 313-598-1423.
Thank you. I'll be calling you.
Okay, I look forward to your call. What's your name? Who am I talking to?
Omani Grace.
Amani Grace. Wonderful. I look forward.
Okay,
to
great.
meeting you in person.
Okay, me too. I'm so excited. I'm so glad I woke up. You have no idea.
I'm so excited. And I just can't hide it. I know.
I think I like it.
I want to. All right, Queens. Give yourself some love.
Yeah.
Hug yourself. Hug yourself. Everybody in the house. Everybody hug yourself real good, real good, real good, real good. And you know the work that we have to do. Hug the world. Give love, send love, hug the world. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
See you tomorrow. Okay, they're not on today, so I don't know what's going to happen, but you know it's Mama Ayaba and Mama Awa, so you know it's going to be off the hook coming from somewhere. I think they're still talking about the
Chakras.
We're on the last one for the chakras, and I want y'all to know that At Peace threw down yesterday, so it is up in the archives. I mean, she's there. Yes, she was beautiful. Okay. So if you did not experience that, you want to go and check it out. I'm still searching for Pam and Tyrell's Star and Tyrell, the poetry.
Friday.
Yeah, still. It has made me go through every single one. So just tightening up on that. Yeah, so Thursday. Now really, you have a guest for Thursday already?
Yes, indeed. Her name is Patrice Lee. She is a Detroit author of children's books, and she will be on with her magic and her love.
All right. Speaking of magic, you have on Wednesdays you do the magic.
Yes, Wednesday, tomorrow is Make It Magic at the HP Heidelberg. Come with your creative, beautiful selves and your snack you'd like to indulge in, and just come and create, right? So we have the sewing machine up, we bead, we flow.
Awesome. Raziya, Are you having dinner Thursday?
We are having a special support for 2 people. So we're not having dinners. Anyone is welcome to come by. There's food, but I didn't put out a big announcement. So if you're hungry, just call me.
Girl, say no, say less.
Right.
That's the way we're doing it, and we're having people come by and pick these cherries, ground cherries. We have an abundance of them in the garden, and we want everybody to at least know that this plant is wonderful and it grows in Detroit. So I had never planted them before, but their abundance, it just shows you God's good.
Yeah.
Each little cherry comes in its own bag, created by Mother Nature.
Wow.
So all you have to do is just pull it off and open this bag and eat it. You don't have to wash it or be concerned about dust or insects. So it's just one of those examples of God's greatness.
Awesome.
So come by and get some cherries.
And those of you who are interested in going to Mama Awa on the 24th, I did look up for a 15 seat van, and it's very, very, very affordable for 15 people, even if it's 10. So I've begun making a list. So if you really, really are truly interested in going, please let me know. You all have my number. Just text me. I'm in, and so we can make sure that everything is right. That's September the 24th. That is
September.
And we can decide
24th to what? When do we come back?
Well, that's what we'll decide. Because I guess we'll depending on what time it starts, we'll go down Friday or go early Saturday and then spend the night and come back Sunday. That we have to make a decision about. So I know, Peace, you had already shown that you were interested in it. I put your name down here, Evelyn. Actually, I put everybody's name down here. So y'all had to tell me, take my name off.
Okay.
All right. Love you all.
Right.
Love
Take
you.
care. Thank you
Love you.
again,
Thank you.
Love you, ladies. Thank you.
Goddess.
Thank you.
Peace and love.